Gotcha. Yep, he's gone.
As Vice Chair of the Commission, I call this meeting of the Michigan Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission to order at 10:04 a.m. This webinar is being live streamed on YouTube on the Michigan Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission YouTube channel. For anyone watching who would prefer to watch via a different platform than they are currently using, please visit our social media at Redistricting MI. Show today includes closed captioning. Spanish, Arabic, and Arabic services will provide participation in redistricting at Michigan for additional details on accessing translation.
Online, I think there should be a problem.
Sounds like you're having something else. I'll pause for the ones that are, but should I try to say?
Testing 2. Testing 2. Check. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Check. 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Hey hey. Testing 1 2. 1 2.
I see a thumbs up from our commissioners. And you can hear me too? Okay, very good. Should I begin where I left off? I'll start over. Very good. So good morning, Michigan. As Vice Chair of the Commission, I call this meeting of the Michigan Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission to order at 10:06 a.m. This Zoom webinar is being live streamed on YouTube on the Michigan Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission YouTube channel. For anyone in the public watching who would prefer to watch via a different platform than they are currently using, please visit our social media at RedistrictingMI. Our live stream today includes closed captioning. Closed captioning, ASL interpretation, and Spanish, Arabic, and Bengali translation services will be provided for effective participation in this meeting. Email us at redistricting@michigan.gov for additional viewing options or details on accessing language translation services for this meeting. People with disabilities needing other specific accommodations should also contact redistricting@michigan.gov. This meeting is being recorded and will be available at www.michigan.gov/MICRC for viewing at a later date. This meeting is also being transcribed, and those closed caption transcripts will be made available and posted on the michigan.gov/MICRC website, along with written public comment submissions. There is also a public comment portal that may be accessed by visiting michigan.gov/MICRC. This portal can be utilized to post maps and comments, which can be viewed by both the Commission and the public. Members of the media who may have questions before, during, or after the meeting should discuss those questions with Edward Woods III, Communications and Outreach Director for the Commission at woodse3@michigan.gov or 517-331-6309. For the purposes of the public watching and the public record, I will turn to Department of State staff to take note of the commissioners present.
Good morning. Please say present when I call your name. If you're attending today's meeting remotely, please announce during roll that you are attending remotely, as well as where you are physically attending from. I'll call on commissioners in alphabetical order, starting with Doug Clark, Juanita Curry,
Present and attending remotely from Detroit, Michigan.
Anthony Eade,
Present.
Brittany Kellum,
Present and attending remotely from Wayne County, Michigan.
Rhonda Lang, Steve Lett,
Present.
Cynthia Orton,
Present.
MC Rothhorn,
Present.
Rebecca Satella, Janice Follett, Aaron Wagner. Aaron, I think you're muted.
Present and attending remotely from Charlotte, Michigan.
Thank you. Richard Weiss,
Present.
Dustin Witches.
Present and attending remotely from Howell, Michigan.
9 commissioners are present and there is a quorum.
Thank you, Ms. Reinhardt. As a reminder to the public watching, you can view the agenda at www.michigan.gov/MICRC. I would now entertain a motion to approve the meeting agenda.
So moved.
Forward by motion by Commissioner Witches, second by Commissioner Lett. Is there any discussion or debate on the motion? Hearing none, it is moved and seconded that the motion be adopted. All in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, raise your hand and say nay. The ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. Without objection, we will now begin the public comment pertaining to agenda topics portion of our meeting. Hearing no objection, we will now proceed with public comment pertaining to agenda topics. Individuals who have signed up and indicated they would like to provide in-person public commentary to the commission will now be allowed to do so. Please step to the nearest microphone when I call your name. You will have 1 minute to address the commission. Please conclude your remarks when you hear the timer. First in line to provide public comment is number 1, Linda.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay, thank you. My name is Linda Appling, and I am from Lansing, Michigan, and that part of Lansing that is in Eaton County. I voted for Proposal 2 because I want fair elections where the party with the most votes wins the most seats. Please create fair seats in the Lansing region by unpacking Democrats and creating 5 area Lansing region House seats. I recommend map 06677. Please return Eaton County voters in Delta Township and the city of Lansing to an Eaton County district. I would remind you that if you don't do this, what you will have in the area. Thank you.
Thank you for addressing the commission. Number 2, Mikhail, perhaps?
Fancy pronunciation. Michael Davis, again, good morning, commissioners, and thank you for the opportunity to speak before you today. I'm Michael Davis with Promote the Vote, and I want to use my final 60 seconds to urge you to consider our maps, or even parts of our maps, for your maps before this afternoon's deadline. Specifically, as you look at your state house offerings, you have no fair options for Michiganders, and that's not what we voted for in 2018. I strongly believe the PTV coalition maps are fair and equitable and provide the best chance to end gerrymandering as we address prison gerrymandering, racial gerrymandering, political gerrymandering, amongst other things, and to ensure that we, the people, are best represented in Lansing and in DC. You have the data which show our maps to be fairer than others that you are considering. You have our detailed district narratives. You have heard from others across the state, and you have certainly heard plenty from me about our maps. So I ask that you please give them fair consideration. If you act on these suggestions, it represents the best chance for fair representation for all Michiganders. Thank you.
Thank you for addressing the commission. Number 3, Drew.
Hello, commissioners. My name is Drew Beckman. I am a student here at Michigan State University. I am asking for you to please publish additional partisan fairness data for each of the maps you have proposed thus far. I am asking for you to publish partisan fairness data reports from 3 different elections in addition to the aggregate data you have already published. This is essential for the public to accurately assess the fairness of each of your proposed maps. Just because a map produces proportional results when used the aggregate data, a 1% shift in the vote could drastically change the seat distribution. This would be unfair. Please publish this data and take it into consideration when it comes time to make a final vote. Please make this motion today to give the public the most time to see this information. Thank you.
Thank you for addressing the commission. Okay, that concludes our in-person public comment for the day, until we have another one walk in. We'll move on to remote public comment. Individuals who have signed up and indicated they would like to provide live remote public commentary to the commission will now be allowed to do so. I will call your name and our staff will unmute you. If you are on a computer, you will be prompted by the Zoom app to unmute your microphone and speak. If you are on the phone, a voice will say that the host would like you to speak and prompt you to press *6 to unmute. I will call on you by your name. Also, please note that if you experience technical or audio issues, or we do not hear from you for 3 to 5 seconds, we will move on to the next person in line and return to you after they are done speaking. If your audio still does not work, you can email redistricting@michigan.gov and we will help you troubleshoot so you can participate during the next public comment period at a later hearing or meeting. You will have 1 minute to address the commission. Please conclude your remarks when you hear the timer. First in line to provide public comment is Mr. James Gallant.
Oh, James Gallant, Marquette. These are my opinions. And we do have to also consider rules gerrymandering, and that's exactly what has happened here. The chair has determined that there's agreements between the members that you can't really agree on the parameters of those agreements, and that these proceedings are absurd, and I concur on both. Now, the biggest egregious breach here was when the chair just was able to kill the proposal of the Republican member, the Democratic members, killed that proposal by not allowing a motion, by not entering a motion first. The chair and the facilitator did this. Tag team, institutionally bullying, did not allow a motion, and then bullied everybody into not making a motion. So they defeated that proposal without actually voting. They just bullied anybody into not voting, not doing it. So there you go. We need to get this. Good luck to to Benson on explaining to the Supreme Court about this.
Thank you for addressing the commission. Number 2, Ms. Judy Mega.
Hi, good morning. I hope that you all have had time to read the NBC article by Jane Timm, Timm, about the training sessions held by Republicans still working very hard to make sure that fair maps don't happen. Again, all we want is fair maps. The operatives explained that the importance of lobbying the commission for specific requests. Quote, if they keep Kent County whole in the congressional map, if they keep Grand Rapids whole as much as possible, like wholly enclosed in the state Senate district and limited to 2 breaks in the House, there's very little they can do with the rest of the map across the state that does not. It would be a domino effect, right? Anderson said in a October 19 training session. If they keep those things whole, there's not much they can do to screw around with the rest of the state. This is on video. This was circulated. This was what people were encouraged to say to you. In light of the above, please examine any changes you made on comments that clearly tried to move criteria number 7 about keeping counties whole to criteria number 3. Please also explain today exactly how future comments are going to factor into the.
Thank you for addressing the commission. Number 3, Anthony Scannell.
Hi, commission. Good morning. This is Anthony Scannell, Wayne County. This is another congressional map. Just drew it up just for the heck of it. It wasn't actually entirely my idea, but if you gave me more than a minute, I could tell you about its origins. But for the sake of time, what I can tell you is that it scores 100 times better than any of the commission's Birch 2 and Chestnut. Whereas Birch 2 and Chestnut have a 2.8 efficiency Republican, this has a 1.7 efficiency gap Dem. Whereas Birch and Chestnut have a 4 and 4.3 partisan bias Republican, this has 1.8 partisan bias Dem. And whereas Birch 2 and Chestnut have 1.2 mean median Republican, this has 0.7 mean median Democrat. So it improves upon all measures. I mean, I could explain more to you, but one thing it doesn't do, it doesn't split Oakland County 6 ways like Chestnut 2 does. But I'm not saying it's the best. I'm just saying, I don't think this commission has done its due diligence, especially on congressional maps. And so I hope you don't have another early half-day adjournment with all this consideration.
Thank you for addressing the commission. Number 4, Susan Smith.
Good morning, commissioners. I'm Susan Smith, Vice President, League of Women Voters of Michigan. The League of Women Voters has 2 concerns. Number 1, the possibility of the commission going into closed session today. Transparency has been a strong point for the commission. Even if no decisions are made in closed session, the public is entitled to hear the commission's discussion regarding the status of redistricting plans submitted by individual commissioners. At this point in the mapping process, it is especially important for the commission to continue to be transparent in its discussion as well as decision-making. Number 2, please consider the House map submitted by Promote the Vote. It has much better partisan fairness scores than any other House maps. Thank you for this opportunity to address the commission.
Thank you for your comments. Number 5, Amr Zar.
Hey, good morning, commissioners. My name is Amr Zar. I'm joining you from Dearborn. This is now my 4th time addressing you. As you all know, Michigan is home to the nation's most concentrated Arab American population. Dearborn is our community's unofficial capital. It's essential that our central community in Dearborn be kept together. I'd like to thank you for achieving this goal in your state Senate and congressional maps, but unfortunately you fail in the state House maps. Our main center of our community, East Dearborn, is split among 2 districts, District 3 and District 4. The section of East Dearborn that is located in District 3 is the heart of our community. I'm talking east of Greenfield, north of Ford Road, west of Wyoming, south of Tyerman. It is the heartbeat of the Arab American community. Luckily, you can fix this easily. You can take the part of Section 3 that's in East Dearborn, put it into District 4, and then take some parts of Franklin Park, put them into District 3. It would make that district more African American, and it would keep our community together, helping 2 communities at once. I'm begging you to put one of these maps forward that reflect that so that we can discuss it over the next 45 days so we have something to lobby you on. Please keep our community together. Don't fragment us and dilute our vote. Thank you.
Thank you for addressing the commission. Sarah Abbott, number 6.
Number 6 and 7 are not present, so we'll move on to number 8.
Thank you. Jennifer Austin.
Hello, Jennifer Austin, City of Midland. I just wanted to let all of you know how much I appreciate the hard work you all have done to give Michigan fair maps. Your efforts and your results are gargantuan in light of the massively gerrymandered maps we previously had. What you have created is historic and a vast improvement. You all know that I wanted a Midland Bay City House District. I've said that many times. I understand and respect your reasons for not doing this, even though it would increase the partisan fairness of the overall maps. But more important than my personal ask for my community is improving the partisan fairness of the overall maps in other ways. I ask that you take one map of each type and adjust it to improve the unacceptable partisan lean in favor of Republicans. 5% for Republicans is not acceptable. Please give the voters of Michigan a completely fair option that we are able to comment on. That's all we're asking for, is an option that we can comment on. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 9, Adam Stacy.
Yes, thank you very much. I just want to remind the commission that your actions are going to be decided not just in 2022, but in 2024, 2026, and beyond. That striving to reach a precise partisan balance for 2022 can cause you to have very unwieldy partisan balances in the future. I have seen in my years watching politics state house districts that are lean Republican go lean Democrat in 4 short years. So what I'm asking the commission is, please remember to keep the communities of interest as the foundation for your organization. If you don't do that, if you go down and try to find a perfect partisan balance for 22, you may find yourself with very unwieldy districts in the future that really have no common sense of identity, such as what you did in the Lansing area when you took hours of deliberation, debate, and compromise and just substituted a new map that was only supported by a select few and overwrote those decisions. So please remember to keep communities of interest as the foundation. And remember, your maps are going to be judged not just now, but in 4 to 6 to 8 years to come.
Thank you for addressing the commission. Number 11, Badia Warren.
Hi, good morning. I'm here today because I'm concerned about the partisan fairness scores. I urge you to take another look at the maps and improve the partisan fairness scores as close to 0 as you can get them. I went door to door with voters, not politicians, because I was so upset about what the legislature was doing to public education for the last 20 years. And we would appeal to our representative and he would listen, but nothing changed because with gerrymandering, he had a guaranteed win. And I would hate to see that continue going forward. And that is why I am so concerned about partisan fairness. But having said that, it's so exciting that we're actually to this point where we have all these maps.
Thank you for addressing the commission. Number 12, Kathleen Curell.
Good morning. I'm Kathleen and I'm calling from Midland. In Michigan, Democratic voters outnumber Republican voters by a margin of 53 to 47, and the current maps give that huge Republican control over to the electorate due to gerrymandering. Remember that Republicans in the legislature sued to try to get this proposal off, and they were unsuccessful to block it. So remember that. Please ignore the accusations of favoritism toward the Democrats as you work toward maps that will give us better fair representation. I would be happy to see the current partisan lean in favor of Republicans reduced from 4 to 6% as it is now down to 2 or 3%. Please keep working on this and continue to rise above the fray and use the constitutional guidelines you've been given.
Thank you for addressing the commission. Number 13, Mark Payne.
All right. Good morning, commissioners.
Good morning.
Thank you for all your hard work. My name is Mark Payne, and I would like to request that you keep up transparency in your discussions and your meetings, and by posting the maps on the portal and my districting as soon as possible with the data as well. On your house maps, they're still not good enough. You can do better, and there are also no fair house maps as it stands currently. You can still do something about this by submitting an individual map. You can look at the portal for ideas and concepts. 06250 PTV, AFL-CIO fair maps. And I also want to add that your VRA lawyer said that you can go up to 55% in consideration of communities. So I ask that you take that into consideration. And again, thank you for all your hard work.
Thank you. Number 14, Sharday Chambers.
Good morning. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. My name is Sharday Chambers. I'm calling from Kalamazoo County, and I'm calling to give my thoughts on the maps. I will say, after looking at your maps, the Apple map is as close as what we were hoping for, especially to bring us in to Calhoun County with Battle Creek. Those, we share similar ideas. I will say that you guys do have more work to do when it comes to the rest of the maps, because you guys continue to push us towards the lake shore. Kalamazoo County does not share the same values as those on the lake shore. We do better being on the side closest to Calhoun County, and that's where we should stay. And I'm also very disappointed to see that you guys continue to work on the east side of the state and not put as much thought into the west side of the state maps. Again, please do not continue to push Kalamazoo County towards Lake Shore, as we do not share the same ideas. Again, I thank you for your work and I appreciate all that you do, but I wish that you would spend more time on the west side to give us more consideration as to what we've been asking for. Thank you.
Thank you for addressing the commission. That concludes our remote public comment. I do not believe we have any in person at this point. So we have had a practice of taking a break. Do we want to take a break, commissioners, or we want to keep going?
We need to take a break and we need to review a Baker memo. So I would suggest 20, 25 minutes. So they give us a break and the time to review the memo.
Very good. It is currently, without objection, it is currently 10:29. We will recess until 10:30. Hearing no objections.
We're going to do a minute.
I apologize. We will recess until 11 o'clock. No, thank you. I appreciate that. I need it. Okay, without objection, we will recess until 11 a.m. Hearing no objection, we are in recess until 11 o'clock. Thank you very much. Okay. As Vice Chair of the Commission, I call this meeting of the Michigan Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission back to order at 11 a.m. Will the Secretary please call the roll?
Commissioners, please say present when I call your name. If you're attending today's meeting remotely, please announce during roll that you are attending remotely as well as where you are attending from. I will call on commissioners in alphabetical order, starting with Doug Clark. Juanita Curry.
Here.
Anthony E.
Here. I'm sorry. I'm a little slow, but I'm here.
Not a problem. Commissioner Curry, can you tell us where you're attending remotely from?
Attending remotely from Detroit, Michigan.
Thank you. Anthony Eid.
Present.
Brittany Kellum.
Present and attending remotely from Wayne County, Michigan.
Rhonda Lang. Steve Lett.
Present.
Cynthia Orton.
Present.
MC Rothhorn.
Present.
Rebecca Zatella. Janice Follett. Aaron Wagner.
Present, attending remotely from Charlotte, Michigan.
Richard Weiss.
Present.
Dustin Witches.
Present and attending remotely from Howell, Michigan.
9 commissioners are present and there is a quorum.
Thank you, Ms. Reinhardt. Okay, we are moving on to unfinished business. Item 5A, the process for consideration of individual commissioner map. Without objection, I will ask our General Counsel, Julianne Pastula, cover this item. Hearing no objection, please proceed, General Counsel Pastula.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Is my microphone working? I know we had some. Thank you. And good morning to the Commission. The MICRC is in receipt of guidance from their litigation counsel on the reading of subsections 9 and 14 together, given the adopted motions. And as a policy decision, it is appropriate for the Commission to proceed under the motions as adopted.
Very good. What I'm hearing is no changes. Any other responses, commissioners? Commissioner Lett.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner Rothorn. Given that circumstance, I think we could move forward with the rest of the business as no action is required under Section 5, A or B. So that would bring us up to any new business.
All right. Thank you. So, and no, Commissioner Witches.
I agree with Commissioner Lett. I just wanted to let everyone of the commission know that I have elected not to submit personal maps via the deadline because I am a whole believer in what we have accomplished with our collaborative maps moving forward. So I just wanted everybody to know that.
That's helpful. Thank you, Commissioner Witches. General Counsel.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I believe as far as agenda item 5B, there was action to be taken relative to the mapping process document.
Thank you, General Counsel. Yes, I do believe we should move on to to unfinished business. Item 5B, draft edits to the mapping process and procedures. So without objection, I will ask Executive Director Hammersmith to cover this item. Hearing no objection, please proceed, Ms. Hammersmith.
Thank you very much. These were provided last week, so I'm sure you've had time to review them. I don't know if anybody has any questions. Basically, what we did was take the process and procedures and change them to the way that this commission had proceeded. So we just made them compliant with what you had done in your process, which worked very well. Again, it's a learning process for everybody, and we're all learning together. So if there are no questions, there is a resolution provided.
There is, and this also, we don't need to take into consideration, I think this takes into consideration the policy that we had changed. Okay, I see it. So we're okay with it as is. Very good. So
I move we adopt the policy and procedure as presented.
Thank you, Commissioner Lett. Thank you, Commissioner Witches. So we have a motion made by Commissioner Lett and a second by Commissioner Witches to adopt resolution 2021-1103. All in favor, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please raise your hand and say nay. The ayes prevail and the motion is adopted. Okay. We are moving on to new business. And we do not have, I do believe we have a minutes to approve. Is that accurate? There's one.
Yes.
I believe I have proposed Flint public hearing minutes.
Yes.
Okay. So, and I do believe these are were sent to us. So this is approval for October 26th public hearing in Flint at the Dort Center. These minutes have been provided to the commission. Are there any edits to these minutes? I believe they be approved. Thank you. I believe that there is one small edit before we do that, Commissioner Lett. On page 2 of 5, the very bottom comment, it says public comment, and it says Commissioner Zatella and comment vice chair, and I think it should just read chair. So it's a very small edit. There is a motion. Are there any other edits?
Then I move we approve them as corrected.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Lett and Commissioner Witches. We have a motion and second. All in favor of adopting these minutes from October 26th from the Flint public hearing, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, raise your hand and say nay. Okay, very good. Without objection, I will ask if any staff members would like to provide a report, starting with Executive Director Hammersmith.
I guess, again, I just want to say thanks for all your work over the last few weeks. You've done a yeoman's amount of work in a very compressed time frame under intense pressure. So thank you. Thank you for being here, for your dedication to the process and dedication to the citizens of Michigan. It's really appreciated.
Thank you, Commissioner Hammersmith. Thank you, Director Hammersmith. Do we have any, and I believe we will be meeting again in November 18th next. Will you help us understand what we will do, or is that going to be in the future future agenda items?
I'm happy to do it now or then.
Let's do it in future agenda items. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Here.
Yes, please.
Excuse the interruption, please. I did want to call to your attention that we had the motion on the table to adopt resolution 2021-1103, moved by Commissioner Lett, seconded by Commissioner Witches. And I did not capture the vote on that resolution. Was it taken?
It was.
Is unanimous?
It was unanimous. Correct.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, we are moving on to the next report. Without objection, I will ask Sarah Reinhardt from the Michigan Department of State if she has a report.
No report.
Thank you, Sarah Reinhardt. Do we have a report from our general counsel or from our communications and outreach director at this time? Okay, none from our communications and outreach director, none from our general counsel. We will move on to correspondence. Correspondence received in advance of our meeting today was provided along with written public comments to the commissioners in our meeting materials. So future agenda items, number 11, Director Hammersmith.
I'm sure. Where do we go from here, right? So as soon as the maps are published, and we will be waiting on the legal descriptions to be published this week, Sarah Reinhardt is working with the Center for Shared Solutions to make sure that happens in a timely manner. And then those maps will be noticed. There will be a notice put out that they are available for the 45-day public comment period. Your general counsel has drafted that notice. We have 4 meetings planned between now and the end of the year. They're listed on your agenda. And please note on the December 30th, this meeting was assuming that the maps would be published on Sunday of this week. So for example, if we have everything ready and they can be published on Friday, this commission could meet 2 days earlier, up to 2 days earlier. The 30th is a state holiday, so we can't be in any state buildings that day. Edward has a desire to be in Lansing. It makes sense to be in Michigan's capital city for this historic meeting. So that's the goal, but possibly that meeting will be changed to the 28th or 29th, depending on when the maps are published and availability of facilities for us. We will know when the maps will be published by the end of this week. So then we can let you know as commissioners.
Okay, thank you for those schedules. Are there agenda topics? Oh, please, Commissioner Lett.
Yeah, on the meetings we're having every couple of weeks, the ones that are out of town for me, which are all of them, is Edward going to make arrangements for housing for me?
Yes.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Commissioner Orton.
I'm just thinking as one of the future agenda items, budget, we should put that on.
Yes.
It has been requested that we put that on our November 18th meeting. So we'll do a budget update at that time. Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you. And I see Commissioner Witches has his hand up too.
Yeah, so this is just a question in regards to what can happen today, I suppose. The way that I'm reading it, 12 o'clock is the deadline. 12:01 is too late. So anything that comes in after that will not be published. And if that is the case, once, the deadline happens, could Secretary of State please email me which commissioners submitted maps and their shape files so I can import them?
I'm seeing a nodding head, Commissioner Witches.
Yes, Commissioner Witches, we can do that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
It's not a shaking head, it's a nodding head as in the affirmation. And I'll just ask that each commissioner just help us all understand it. And that's great. Thank you. And I don't believe we have to stay in session until then because there's no vote required. It's automatic. Okay, very good. Just wanted to confirm that. And as far as future agenda items, I'm wondering if we should also because I know the staff, right? This phase, right? I'm thinking about our staffing as well as commissioners. I think there's a lot of questions about, so if we could put that on the agenda, I think it's related to budget, very much related to budget, like how we pay ourselves, how we help pay you guys, right? All those questions that are up there. So if we can make those discussion items as well as just, help us understand it. So it would be, I'll just offer, it would be helpful to understand we're a legislative body. How do other legislative bodies deal with this sort of uncertainty, right? Are there ways that are there other departments that can help us learn how to predict when there's so much unpredictability? Please, yeah. So if you can give us guidance on November 18th, anything that could help us understand how what sort of crystal balls we have or don't have, that'd be great. Thank you. And okay, so those are any other future agenda items or questions while we're on this future agenda items topic. I see Kent Stegall has a hand potentially. Is that true?
Hi, Commissioners. I'm just, Chairman, I just need to know what plans are going to be coming through by noon today. I know of one. If Sue Ann can let me know as soon as possible, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Stegall. And that reminds me that we did get comment about not just maps, but the partisan fairness measures that we were using or that we had used during our public deliberations, So if those haven't been posted yet, we'll just put those on the portal as soon as possible. And thank you, whoever makes that happen on our team and all the people who probably help it. Okay, so Mr. Stegall, we will make sure that we get your request done as soon as we know how to comply. Yeah, how many maps are submitted? Mr. Curry, was that a hand? No, okay. Mr. Witches.
I move to adjourn.
All right. Well, there we have it. We have a motion and a second to adjourn. We have completed all of our business. Is there any discussion on the motion? No discussion? All in favor of adjourning, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please raise your hand and say nay. The ayes have it, and we are adjourned at 11:14. Thank you, commissioners. Thank you, all the participants of the state of Michigan. And we'll see you on November.